everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Two Dudes Podcast. I'm Rick. That's Kevin. Got another show for you today, number 93. We get closer to that century mark. Kev, how you doing?
Good, can't complain.
It's time to discuss some football with the time that we have. I want to welcome Nelson Shields back in. Been on the podcast several times, but no time that he's been on have the Philadelphia Eagles been in the playoffs, and they are now. So we're going to get to that in a minute. I want to go.
Well, technically, that's the same for you. Only team that's a regular in the playoffs would be mine.
I mean, y'all been a regular for what? Y'all been regular for 4 years?
Longer than that, Negro.
All right, so the NFL got exactly what they wanted this year. They wanted a 17-game schedule. They got it. They wanted parity. They definitely got it. They wanted it to come down to the last weekend of the season for seedings to take place. They got it. They even got the last game of the season to be a damn near great game. Do you think the NFL's happy with the results?
Hell yeah. They done sold tickets on top of tickets. Their revenue's through the roof.
Nelson?
I think the NFL is, I think they happy with it because like Tay said, it's about the money. For them, it's about the money. Money. But like, for example, and I guess this wouldn't matter even if they play 16 games, but like my team, they didn't play nobody but second stringers during the 17 week. You know? So it was like, was it even worth watching?
But being a fan, you go watch the draw. But the reason why NFL is really happy, because they keep forcing Vegas down our throat. Vegas got the Pro Bowl. Vegas got the Super Bowl. Vegas making the playoffs and the overtime game like it did.
That's not
that right there.
It's not forcing it down the NFL's throat. That's part of the contract. You're going to see
that's
it
forcing
in the
it
next
down our
couple years
throat
with the Los Angeles Stadium as well.
That's forcing it down our throat. The same way football didn't exist, and now they got the Super Bowl all of a sudden. They want you to be in certain areas to increase that market. The market director is on cloud 9 right now.
Hey, Nelson, the cold hard truth is it wasn't Kansas City that gets the Pro Bowl. It wasn't Kansas City that gets the Super Bowl.
Oh, we're never going to get it. We don't have a dome. We don't have a dome, so we're never going to get it.
Now, back up. Two things I want to say about that. First, I would be all for Kansas City to get the Super Bowl, and it shouldn't matter about the weather. They play every other game in bad weather.
Right.
But they kept, when Giants got Super Bowl, the whole weather thing went out the window. Then it turned into, you don't have enough hotels to accommodate the crowd. Like we didn't have the baseball all-star game here the season prior.
But, okay, I want to go back to this forcing down throat. I think you're wrong about that with Vegas. I think if I were to say the NFL is trying to force something down your throat, I would say it would be L.A.
No, I agree.
Why you got two teams in L.A.? One of them was killing it in San Diego. But you know what? They want that big market so bad. Mm-hmm. That's why it's two teams in New York. There's two teams in L.A.
And
they want two teams in Texas. They want somebody in a big market to make it to the Super Bowl so bad. That's what they force down your throat. So really, in essence, they hate a Philadelphia making it and winning the Super Bowl, or a Kansas City, or even an Oakland Raiders. They hate it.
Now, I would say this. They wouldn't hate Kansas City winning the Super Bowl because Patrick Mahomes is the heir apparent to Tom Brady. They need somebody to pass the torch to, so that would be okay for them.
I guess
if
like
Philly won the Super Bowl, your quarterback's not the heir apparent. I mean, think about it. Y'all won the Super Bowl how many years ago? And where's that quarterback at?
How long ago was it?
Third string. Don't play. It was 2018. That's why
Oh,
I said.
all jokes aside,
That's why I said. That's why I said y'all wasn't relevant
Now,
for like
Nelson, I will
3-4
say this.
years.
He's kind of got a point because I forgot the year too.
I was thinking 16.
Yeah.
I was thinking 2016.
Matter of fact, you know why I can remember it? Because it was the first year Andy Reid with the Chiefs. And that was the year, and I couldn't believe this. The Chiefs didn't even make the playoffs that year, but Andy Reid, they beat the Eagles in Philadelphia. And then we won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, y'all took one of our reject coaches, then fired him like 2 years later.
We took the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Andy's coaching tree isn't the greatest because Nagy then got fired too. So no one's coaching tree outside of Bill Walsh has really, and Parcells has really worked.
Yeah, that's true.
Winding down the season, what did y'all think about Sunday night's game?
It was a good game in the season. Though. It was high stakes. They was right to flex into the primetime game because that was the most important game as far as the AFC playoff picture. So that was well played on their part.
Yeah, because Pittsburgh was sweating bullets.
But you know what? It's hard for me to say this, but I wish the Raiders would have just tied. Because when you think about it, Pittsburgh do not deserve to be in the playoffs. You know what I mean? To me, they about the equivalent of a team that under 500 that make it to the playoffs.
That's true.
They are terrible.
Only because the Big Ben makes them relevant. But my thing is you play to win. You don't play to tie. You play to win.
That's why. That's right. That's true. And I said that. But that's
now here's my thing, Nelson. Vegas, they didn't tie for 2 reasons. We all know that the Chargers called that BS timeout when they shouldn't have. And 2, if we had tied, we'd be the 7th seed, and we'd have to go in and play Kansas City. I don't want that.
You think they was avoiding that? Because I've heard that's why they chose not to tie. They chose to because they didn't want to go to Kansas City.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You ain't been to the playoffs for 4 years, 5 years now, and you want to play Kansas City in the first round? Not me, brother. Let me enjoy one playoff game, and then we'll see what happens in the second round.
Yeah, but you know what? I believe in this. Hard to beat a team 3 times in a row.
I agree with that. I told him that. Yeah. But my thing is, I don't think the timeout was BS because you play to win. It would have been dumb for an interim coach who don't have nothing beyond this season to take a tie against a divisional team when you can send them home. If I'm trying to get the job, I'm seeing red the whole game.
And what's Al Davis's motto?
All I said was I wish they would have took it.
Al Davis never said just tie, baby.
Exactly. Because no matter what Mark does is different, the motto is still just win.
All right, so.
I hate that. You know what I hate? I'll say this, then I'll let you move on. I hate that they letting the Chiefs, as usual, play the easiest team to make the playoffs.
We can't help it. We're the number 2 seed. We can't help that.
Yeah, it's still the easiest.
That's how, the playoffs are set up. The low seed goes to the high team. The low seed will play Tennessee next week. Nothing we can do about that.
I got to agree with Kevin on that. I mean, even if we had tied it or barely squeaked in and ended up the 7th seed, I would be happy just to be in the playoffs. It'd be a bitter pill to swallow knowing that I might be one and done, but getting in is the most important thing right now. That way nobody can say, well, the Raiders haven't been in the playoffs since 2016. Can't say that anymore. We're in. Now, next year, they might be saying the Raiders need to win a playoff game, depending on how things go in Cincinnati.
Y'all might beat Cincy because Cincy ain't prepared for y'all.
Well,
They
I'm going with Vegas in my picks, and here's the reason why. We are on what's my favorite words when it comes to football? The redemption tour. Teams that have beat us, we are getting our respect back.
You don't respect y'all.
Oh my God.
Think about the last 5 games we played. Every single team has been above 500 and mentioned as a playoff team. 2 of them didn't even get into playoffs. Thank you, Jacksonville. And one of them we handled Sunday night. And it should have been easier than it was. When you got a 15-point lead going into the fourth quarter, you should be able to handle it. Don't take your foot off the gas.
I will say, y'all exposed Hibbert and his line for being trash. Because the whole time he was just throwing afraid. Every time he threw, he was like this because he knew he was about to get hit.
Did you see how many times Max Crosby was in that backfield?
Yeah, we finally saw what everybody make a big deal about.
All right, so talking about the playoff games that are coming up, we already know the Titans and the Packers got home field all the way through, so they're off. The first game Saturday, Raiders at the Bengals. It's at 3:30 on NBC. Who you got? You know I'm going with the Raiders.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to go with the Raiders. I think y'all might surprise the Bengals.
I think I'm going to go with Cincinnati. They just
looking like a true NFC fan.
They offense is just, and I'm not saying this because they beat the Chiefs, but what's the name been on for a few weeks now?
Burrow has been on.
He been on, and I mean, and Tay, we argued about this, and you know, even my dad said the same thing I was telling you, Tay. Not to get off subject, but Mahomes got to make better decisions. But
and we'll get to the Chiefs.
They have been doing things. Bengals been doing things. It's been kind of like clicking.
Only thing I worry about with the Bengals, Burrow's been hot. It's been a different receiver every game. As people fail to realize, it ain't been Chase. It's been a different receiver every week for the past like 6-7 weeks. That's been the dominant receiver. Can Burrow get it back this next week after sitting for a week? Because once you hot, the last thing you want to do is cool off. So we go see. And if Crosby plays like he did in that Chargers game, Burrow gonna have problems.
All right. Also on Saturday, we got the Patriots at the Bills. It's the night game. Because it's in Buffalo, I'm going to go ahead and go with Buffalo, but this ain't going to be an easy game.
No, it's an easy game. Buffalo got this. Buffalo going to win by 14. There's no way they should lose this game.
You know what? I think a lot of people would disagree with me on this, but I think Buffalo been a disappointment this year.
They have.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Number one.
Buffalo supposed to be like Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't even supposed to be no question about how good they are. But their problem this year, it ain't been the defense. It is hard to score on that defense. It's the offense. And if you look, what's the name is always running. Lately, he's running. He's doing a lot of running to get critical first downs. But a year ago, oh, he got this big arm. He got a big arm. Man, he's a good quarterback, but I think they gave him too much too soon.
They didn't want Mahomes to have to earn it. He had to be Mahomes' rival, and he lost that. And their line is trash, and they have no running back.
All right.
And they have I don't know. They've been a disappointment to me. That's supposed to be them on bye week.
You can run for a first down when you got 23 yards to go. It can be done.
You can, but he's getting to where he wants to. If he don't see Diggs, he wants to run.
You're right. If Diggs ain't open, he's Carl Lewis.
to run. And he's
How much of
got
that do you think
a good.
is Diggs in his ear saying, "I'm open, man, I'm open," and how much of that is his confidence?
No, he don't trust that line. That line is like Swiss cheese.
He don't. I mean, I think the proof is that game that they. What was that they lost to? I forgot who they lost to. It was like 9-6. That was pitiful.
I think that
That
was the
offense
Jags.
went from being up here to down here literally in the off season.
I think that was the Jaguars.
I'm taking the Bills, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lost. Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
One thing he know how to do, he know how to take the best thing you offer, your offense. He know how to take that away. Now it's just, can you beat him with something else?
All right, let's go to Sunday's games. Your game is the first one, Nelson. It's at noon. Eagles at the Bucks. So I'm gonna let you say who you got first.
I'm prepared for this because this ain't just a homer pick. I'm picking Philly. I'm gonna tell y'all why real quick. If you go back to when Tampa beat Philly this year already, 28-22, Tampa Bay, okay? Tampa Bay was at full strength. This was week 6. I did my homework on this. They were at full strength with everybody. The Eagles were in the midst of a 2-6 record. And they had not figured out who they are. Now they know what they about. The defense is pretty good. And guess what? Tampa Bay has lost some critical weapons. Even lost some critical pieces on defense. I think that if Philly, their defensive line comes to play and they can pressure Brady with just the front four, and they can drop 7, it's gonna be rough for Tampa because I can't really see their defense having enough to stop Philly, considering you gave up 22 points to them last time when they wasn't even running the ball. What they were doing was passing.
I gotta say,
Philly
Nelson,
has a good mix.
I gotta say, I agree with you. I'm going with Philly. This is gonna be the upset.
I wouldn't call it an upset. What I will say, what Philly did that was smart, last game of the season, he could have played, but they rested their quarterback. I think that helps in the long run to where he's ready for a physical playoff game. Because that game's going to be physical. That game's going to be something that they're not ready for, but in the end, I think Philly's going to pull it out by 3. Because Brady and Tampa right now is just too cocky, like, oh, we lost AB, that's nothing. We lost Goodwin, that's nothing. Fournette's hurt, that's nothing. Everything is just, that's nothing. When you and I, we know from our team, you lose a starter and you ain't got a quality backup, that's something. So that being said, I think Philly's going to pull it out. I don't think Tampa's going to know what's going to hit them because they just too damn cocky right now.
And I'll throw in this little tidbit. If you go back, look at least the last years, Brady versus Philly, he does not have a winning record against Philly. Oh, he does not. And this includes the Super Bowl. I can remember when Philly finished 6-10, they beat Brady and them, who eventually won the Super Bowl in the regular season.
You know what y'all do to make sure y'all win? Y'all wear T-shirts to say we support Brian Flores since he was 4-2 against them.
Oh, my God.
New England and Brady, he owned them. So wear T-shirts like that on the field.
You're right.
Okay, the 3 o'clock game. The Dallas Cowboys are hosting the San Francisco 49ers. This is another one of them games that's closer than it should be. 49ers are a 6 seed, and the Cowboys are a 3 seed. But that 49ers D, and how is anybody going to stop Deebo Samuel?
That's the X factor. If Deebo Samuel gets off, if Garoppolo thinks he's worthy of his contract, it's going to be a game. So I'm going to go 49ers because Dallas is too up and down. They was high, but the past couple of weeks, they've been like potholes in the street. You keep hitting them or whatever. So I'm going the 49ers on this one. Easy. I think they're just going to come out and just start smacking them around because the Cowboys are so hyped that they got in. I'm like, there's more than just getting in. So I don't think they're going to be prepared. And besides, Jerry Jones want to fire the coach anyway. So I think he's going to be coaching scared and conservative. I give it to the 49ers.
That's a great point. I think I'm going to go with the 49ers too because of that. He's just not.
I'm going with the 49ers. I mean, it's natural for me. I mean, I hate Dallas, but from a logical standpoint, they lost a critical piece to that offense a couple weeks ago, which is Gallup. That's why Lamb didn't look that good against Philly's second string. Because they keyed in on him and they just let this Wilson dude do whatever he wants. And, you know, Cooper kind of reminds me of Cooper, whatever he is. He kind of just reminds me of one of those receivers getting up there where he gets like a Julio Jones. They give you just a little something. You know, sometimes it's in critical moments. Sometimes it's not. And then let's just be honest. Ezekiel Elliott is average at best now.
Their backup's better than Zeke.
What I would just piggyback on what you said about Dallas is like Dak don't care for Cooper, but he likes Lamb, and Gallup stretches the field, so Lamb has all that middle to work with, and Cooper's literally just sitting there like, hey, I'm still here, and Prescott just waves him off and throws whoever. I agree about Elliott. Elliott's 2 years past his prime. He's one of the reasons why running backs don't get paid, because at some point they run on E. He looking like Eddie George when Eddie George went to Dallas and he couldn't run. That's how Elliott's looking because his backup is way better than him. But they don't want to give him that playing time because they're paying Elliott so much. I won't be surprised if Elliott's on a Cowboy this offseason.
I'm going to give y'all a quick little tidbit while I'm hard on Elliott about being average. Because he hit 1,000 yards against Philly.
Mm-hmm.
In the fourth quarter, he didn't even rush for 100 yards on Philly's second and third string. And it took him to the fourth quarter to reach that 1,000-yard mark, which he should have been at 100 yards in the first half against second string, third string. You know, he's average at best. He's no longer a threat.
Okay. Only thing I'll say in Elliott's defense is he was out hurt a couple games. Because my thing is, if you don't reach 1,000 yards by week 13, you real suspect. If you that feature go too bad.
The only excuse I will give him is that their main offensive tackle, I can't think of his name. He was hurt last week. He didn't play. But I mean, come on. You supposed to be a premier running back.
He ain't premier anything.
We'll see. I mean, I'm taking Frisco because they can run the ball a bunch of different ways. They got Debo Samuel. They got a couple of that guy Jennings. He's coming up. We didn't even name Kittles. They have some people that can catch the ball, but they specialize in running. And like y'all said, the defense is the best thing about their team. No, there's no way Dallas can beat them.
All right, now
they gonna get after Prescott.
The last game on Sunday, the Pittsburgh Steelers wander back in to Kansas City, and I do say wander because yes, everybody that's listening in Pittsburgh, you're welcome. We kicked the field goal instead of tying it, so you're welcome. But
you did yourself a favor. We was kicking y'all ass regardless.
that as you mentioned, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Not impossible.
Yeah, but we still
that's
go
a whole
kicking
other story.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times. I agree. This is what I'll say about the Pittsburgh game. I worry about it because this is Ben's farewell tour. Last time it was a farewell tour, a goodbye tour was Bettis, Ray Lewis. They got Super Bowls those years. Not saying that Pittsburgh might have that kind of run, but that team's going to play that much more for them to try to set it off. So I'm 5 seconds worried about that. That's why I'm hoping that we just say, hey, Hilaire, your ass ain't playing. Williams, we about to ground and pound and milk this clock, run this ball. And Pat, do the check down, do whatever. Let's just get a nice, clean win because this team is – they going to be looking for something to pounce on because they don't want Ben to ride off into the sunset. Picking Kansas City to win, but I am a little bit leery about a team that got nothing to play for, but they want to send their Hall of Famer out on a good note.
Here's why I'm making this pick. As much as it pains me to say, 2 years ago, Kansas City in both playoff games are down double digits, and like nothing, they come back.
Yeah, that's true.
In the Super Bowl, they were down by double digits, and like nothing, came back. Now, I know last year was a little bit different year for them. They were dominant all season, and in the Super Bowl, they couldn't escape that deficit. But when you look at this year, they were at one point 3-4. Mm-hmm. And people were like, what's wrong with Kansas City? They had to adapt to the way defenses were playing them. They weren't giving up the bombs anymore. So they're like, okay, we'll let this young, fresh running back run it down your throat and I'll dink and dunk it. So they changed to match what defenses were given. So it's like checkmate. And I think that they have the ability now where they can beat you both ways. So depending on what Pittsburgh does, you want to stack 8 men in the box, it's going to Hill. You can best believe it's going to Hill for a touchdown. If they get down double digits, not a problem. I don't think Pittsburgh's defense is strong enough to keep Kansas City from scoring, let alone multiple times. And they got beat pretty bad last time. Now, pride will keep them from getting beat as bad this time, but it's still going to happen.
Like you said, pride is going to keep them to where they only lose by like 14. But I think not just pride, but because I love Tomlin. He don't get enough respect. He don't get enough credit. 15 years of never having a losing record, including this year, with a team that's terrible.
Roethlisberger's never had a losing season. That goes back to Bill Cowher.
So
now this is a class organization too. Keep in mind, in the history of the NFL, and the NFL's been around for 102 years, there have only been 3 coaches in Pittsburgh. That's a class organization right there. I don't care what you say about New England or, teams like that. You only had 3 coaches and very few losing seasons. You're good.
Okay.
You're good. You know how to put it together.
Here's my question, and I think we'll all agree on this. Like you said, Tomlin, 15 straight years, no losing, got a couple Super Bowl rings, had MVPs, Hall of Famers done played up under him. Shouldn't he be an automatic first ballot Hall of Fame coach?
Yes, without a doubt.
Yes, it ain't even no question.
I'm like, they should give him his jacket now, and he's still coaching.
The only reason why they don't talk about him as one of the greatest coaches ever is because he don't have the Super Bowl rings that the Belichick or, what's his name with Frisco, Seifert. He don't have the Super Bowl rings that they have,
He got
Seifert's not in the Hall.
He's not in the Hall?
No, because the first couple Super Bowls were Bill Walsh.
Walsh. That's
Seifert
what I
took
meant.
over
Not
Bill
Seifert.
Walsh's team.
Right.
But Tomlin got 2 rings, though, don't he?
Tomlin has 1. He went
He had
twice.
1?
Cowher got the first one with Ben.
He got 1, and I think he lost a Super Bowl to somebody.
Yes. They beat the Cardinals, but lost to – God, I forget who they lost to. I want to say it was the Seahawks. No,
I was about to say, I think it was
beat the
Seattle
Cardinals.
too. I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's the Seahawks too.
All right, so that takes care of Sunday's game. But this year, we're having one of those rare Monday night games to finish
You
out.
got a Monday night game?
Yeah, the first ever.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
Playoff
Monday night
Rams.
game.
Monday night game in the playoffs.
Who's the Monday night game?
Cardinals at the Rams.
Oh,
Oh man.
I'm going with
that's
the
a
Rams.
damn
That
good
means
game to
you can't
have
keep up with
Monday
that
night.
team.
That's a damn good game to have Monday night. I'll speak first. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to the Cardinals because I hate the Rams that fucking much.
Wow. I'm still going with the Rams.
I have no
think they'll
faith in
finally
Matthew
get it together.
Stafford.
If you think about
Yeah,
it, Matt Stafford is Derek Carr's evil twin. Finally, both of them are getting success and being in the postseason. They're going to win at least one.
I think Matthew Stafford has a lot to prove. He wants to prove why it's a much better upgrade than golf. So I think Arizona, on the other hand, have enough excuses to why they wouldn't win. So, what's the name is still, he's still battling that injury a little bit. The quarterback.
Yeah, and he don't have Hopkins either.
He don't have Hopkins,
I think like
Hopkins
this.
is still out?
This is a defensive.
Yeah, he's out for the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to be back in time. Never mind then.
no, he's
I'm
done.
going with the Rams.
And AJ Green ain't what they thought he was gonna be. So AJ Green remind me of what Alshon Jeffrey was toward the end of his career.
Yeah,
And Ertz is catching the ball, but you just don't. I think Connors. I don't even know if Connors is gonna play. That was a big up, but I don't even know if he's playing.
yeah. The defense gonna dictate this game. Both teams have a good defense, so I think that's gonna dictate what. And they made a big deal about them getting J.J. Watt back. Like he's really gonna be a game changer in the game. We'll see.
All right.
See, I don't think he's that big of a deal.
A few
Yeah, I'm
minutes
like
left.
just touch him in his back. He go fall.
I want to ask y'all two quick questions. The first one, who you got as coach of the year? I'm going back to Tomlin.
Coach of the year.
Honestly,
Hey,
I give it to Flores. What he dealt with in Miami with the possible trading of his quarterback and everything, he should get it. The way he turned that season around for them, even though he got fired on some bullshit, he's coach of the year in my opinion.
That's the reason why I believe he won't get it, because he got fired.
Yeah, more than likely.
I think Belichick had what did he have? He had nobody and a rookie quarterback. And they still managed to get 10 wins.
Yeah. If I can't give it to Flores, I'll give it to Green Bay's coach. Because you know what you can go get with Aaron Rodgers. You know the situation or whatever. And he made the best of it.
No, because if
He's
you
simple
talk about
back.
the best of it, if I couldn't give it to Tomlin, I would give it to Bisaccia. Think about everything the Raiders went through this year. Everything. And he got them in the playoffs.
He didn't coach the whole season, though.
Come on, week 6 on.
Tennessee's
He didn't coach the whole season.
Tennessee's coach, he battled all kind of end. I think they set a record for how many injured players they had, how many starters and everything they had. Tennessee.
Yeah, true. You're right.
And to have them get the bye, the AFC.
I'll say this:
the AFC champion
the AFC has more potential coach of the year candidates than the NFC does because a bunch of shit happened in the AFC for whatever reason. But Mike Vrabel's an asshole, so I can't vote for him. I just can't do it.
It's Belichick, but I mean, they did hell of a coaching job.
Yeah. Now, since we got like 4 minutes left, MVP, who you giving it to?
Ooh. The sexy pick
Rodgers.
is Aaron Rodgers, but I don't believe so.
Rodgers.
Nelson, you go first. Come back to me.
You know who the MVP is? Cooper Cup. Nobody. I didn't see nobody stop it.
You know what?
Single time.
I'll roll with you on that. I can't give it to Rodgers because all you did was throw to Devontae Adams the whole season. You didn't spread it around or nothing. If Adams wasn't open, you just threw it away. But Cooper Cup,
when's the last time you heard a receiver in the late weeks in the running for the triple crown of receivers? You know, I like what he said when he said, you know, I really don't care about breaking this record because after all, we getting 17 weeks. You know, the record I'm breaking is a 16-week record.
Did he break Megatron's record?
No, I don't know if he did. He looked like he was on pace.
He led
5 yards.
Yeah, he led the receivers in receptions, yards, and touchdowns.
Yeah, but remember, we're talking MVP. If he's not on that team, they still got almost as many wins.
But ain't nobody putting up numbers like that.
Right, but remember, the award isn't best player. It's most valuable player.
Hands down, you take him off the Rams team, the Rams don't win a lot of games.
Nuh-uh. You take him off the Rams, they lose at least 3 more games.
They don't make the playoffs.
That is a possibility. But that's the same thing as me saying, if we don't have Renfro, we lose half our games. That is true. Because we done won on the last play of the last 5 games.
But just the numbers Cooper Cup put up, inside, outside, deep screens, ain't nobody else did that all season. And it kills me to say that because he a Ram. He was out there putting in work.
And I'm not going to argue with you on that, but I think the NFL being who they are, they're going to pick Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, because it's the sexier say.
I was about to say that. They're going to pick it. They're going to pick Aaron Rodgers, and you know what? That's going to make Green Bay's organization look even worse. You know, they tried to sell him short.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Green Bay, if they don't make it to the Super Bowl, I don't know if Aaron stays. Devontae Adams already said where Aaron goes, he goes, because he's a free agent too, if they don't franchise tag him. So it's so much going on. Green Bay don't want him to get MVP.
All right, we are running out of time here. Nelson, thanks for coming on. Kev, I love the NFL season, and it's so much better when the Raiders are in the playoffs.
I don't know about that shit, but you know what? It's good to see the Raiders have a winning season after all these years. I'll give you that.
Thanks, everybody.
All
Appreciate
3 of
it.
our teams got in.
Fuck y'all team's all about mine.
Take us on out of here, Kev.
Hey, we in there. They teams are just there for play. We trying to get that dub and get that ring. Holler at your boys, but please don't yell.
That was disgusting that it's going to end like that, but
Whatever.
it is what it is. Later, everybody.
See it.
Holler at you.
See it.
Nelson, come back on the show after your team gets bounced. I didn't mean it like that.